Bing Maps is a web mapping service provided as a part of Microsoft's Bing suite of search engines and powered by the Bing Maps for Enterprise framework. Features: Street maps users can browse and search topographically shaded street maps for many cities worldwide. Maps include certain points of interest built in, such as metro stations, stadiums, hospitals, and other facilities. It is also possible to browse public user-created points of interest. Searches can cover public collections, businesses or types of business, locations, or people. 5 street map views are available: Road View, Aerial View, Bird Unregistered Trademark SI View, Street Side View, and 3D View. Road View is the default map view and displays vector imagery of roads, buildings, and geography. The data from which the default road map is rendered is licensed from Navtec. In certain parts of the world, road view maps from alternative data providers are also available. For example, when viewing a map of London, road data from the Collins Bartholomew London Street Map may be displayed. In all parts of the UK, road data from the Ordnance Survey can also be displayed. A Bing Maps app is available that will display road data from OpenStreetMap. Aerial View overlays satellite imagery onto the map and highlights roads and major landmarks for easy identification amongst the satellite images. Since end of November 2010, OpenStreetMap mappers are allowed to use imagery of Bing Aerial as backdrop. At the end of January 2012, both Bing Aerial and Bird's Eye View imagery at military bases in Germany became blurred. This was on request of the German government, obviously using data of OpenStreetMap. Bird's Eye View displays aerial imagery captured from low-flying aircraft. Unlike the top-down aerial view captured by satellite, bird's eye images are taken at an oblique 45-degree angle, showing the sides and roofs of buildings, giving better depth perception for geography. With bird's eye views, many details such as signs, advertisements and pedestrians are clearly visible. Available: Italy, Avezzano, Caserta, and its palace, Como, Genova, Lovis, Malnet, Half, Milano, and its urban area, Napoli, Novara, Palermo, Piacenza, Pompeii, and its archaeological ruins, Potenza, Reggio, Roma, Trento, Venice, and much of its region, Varese, Vercelli, Verona, and surrounding area, USA, Los Angeles, San Francisco. Streetside provides 360-degree imagery of street-level scenes taken from special cameras mounted on moving vehicles. Launched in December 2009, it contains imagery for selected metro areas in the United States as well as selected areas in Vancouver and Whistler, British Columbia associated with the 2010 Winter Olympic Games. Selected cities in Europe were also made available in May 2012. Before this, German customers were allowed to appeal against integration of their house or flat in Bing Streetside between August and September 2011. According to some officials, the number of appeals was significantly lower than with Google Street View. Only 40,000 requests were sent to Microsoft. Venue Maps provides a way of seeing the layout of the venue. Currently, Bing Maps provides maps and level-wise layouts of over 5,300 venues across the world. The categories are: airports, amusement parks, buildings, convention centers, hospitals, malls, museums, parks, race courses, racetracks, resorts, shopping centers, shopping districts, stadiums, universities and zoos. 3D Maps. The 3D Maps feature allows users to see the environment in 3D, with the added ability to rotate and tilt the angle in addition to panning and zooming. To attempt to achieve near photorealism, all 3D buildings are textured using composites of aerial photography. To view the 3D maps, users must install a plugin, then enable the 3D option on Bing Maps. In addition to exploring the maps using a mouse and keyboard, it is possible to navigate the 3D environment using an Xbox 360 controller or another game controller in Windows 7, Windows Vista or Windows XP. More than 60 cities worldwide could be viewed in 3D, including most of the major cities in the United States and a few cities in Canada, the United Kingdom, and France. Some additional cities have had a select few important landmarks modeled in 3D, such as the Colosseum in Rome. Terrain data is available for the entire world. It is also possible to use a 3D modeling program called 3D Shape for maps to add one's own models to the 3D map. Since 2014, new 3D imagery has been introduced to a number of new cities. Driving, walking, and transit directions users can get directions between two or more locations. In September 2010, Bing Maps added public transit directions to its available direction options. Currently transit directions are only available in 11 cities: Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, Newark Metro Area, New York Metro Area, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver, BC, and Washington, D.C. Map Apps Bing Map Apps is a collection of first- and third-party applications that add additional functionality and content to Bing Maps. Examples of map apps include a parking finder, a taxi fare calculator, an app that maps out Facebook friends, and an app which lets users explore the day's newspaper front pages from around the world. These apps are only accessible through Bing Maps Silverlight. A source code is available on Microsoft Developer Network to explain integration of maps and web applications. A sample ongoing project on locating blood donors on maps is available here. Traffic information and clear flow Bing Maps shows users current traffic information for major highways and roads. The feature uses 4 color codes to indicate traffic volume, from heaviest traffic to lightest traffic. Microsoft announced in March 2008 that it will release its latest software technology called ClearFlow. It is a web-based service for traffic-based driving directions available on Bing.com in 72 cities across the U.S. The tool took 5 years for Microsoft unregistered trademark's artificial intelligence team to develop. ClearFlow provides real-time traffic data to help drivers avoid traffic congestion. ClearFlow gives information for alternative routes and supplies traffic conditions on city streets adjacent to highways. ClearFlow anticipates traffic patterns, while taking into account sporting arena events, time of day and weather conditions, and then reflects the backups and their consequential spillover onto city streets. Often, ClearFlow found it may be faster to stay on the highway instead of seeking alternative side street routes, which involve traffic lights and congestion as well. Sharing and embedding maps Bing Maps allows users to share maps and embed maps into their websites. By clicking the email icon in the bottom left corner of Bing Maps, a window will open that displays a shareable URL so others can access the map currently being viewed. This window also provides HTML code to embed a small version of the map onto any web page. Design In August 2010, Bing Maps launched an overhauled design for its default view. The new colors create a more visually appealing backdrop for information delivery that helps content a unregistered trademark on the map. The backdrop provides clear differentiation for pushpins, labels and red, yellow and green traffic overlays. These design principles also works well in black and white and creates differentiation for those with the most common forms of color blindness. Also, larger fonts correspond to larger roads to help customers more easily identify main roads in cities. More readable labels eliminate the need for bolding and less attractive glows. The inclusion of neighborhood labels allows users to quickly find or convey locations in a commonly used and highly relevant format. Other features people, business, and location search The search box at the top of Bing Maps can be used to locate places, businesses and landmarks, and people. Search results appear both on a left side rail and as push pins on the map. Search results often include addresses, contact information, and reviews for businesses and landmarks. For relevant searches, the user will also see a description of the landmark or place if a Wikipedia article exists. The search process can also be guided using local directories for numerous categories. User contributions Bing Maps users can also view and add user-contributed entries to the map. These user contributions must be toggled on by users. Such items can include businesses, landmarks, buildings, locations, as well as Microsoft photo synths. Users can browse user contributions by tags and subscribe to RSS feeds to receive updates of new user contributions to a specific area. Dynamic labels. In August 2010, Bing Maps added dynamic labels to its Silverlight experience. Turn on the dynamic labels beta from the map style selector on Bing Explore and the labels become clickable. This allows users to quickly zoom down to a region or location anywhere on the map with just a few clicks. Zooming back out in a single click is also possible by using the breadcrumb unregistered trademark trail at the top left of the map. Ajax and Silverlight versions. Bing Maps has two separate versions for users, an Ajax version and an opt-in Silverlight version that requires Microsoft's Silverlight to be installed. The Silverlight version is positioned to offer richer, more dynamic features and a smoother experience. In November 2010, the Ajax and Silverlight versions were combined into a semi-hybrid site where Silverlight features such as map apps and street side could be enabled through the bing.com/maps site. These features still required Silverlight to be installed, but does not require use of a separate Bing Maps site. The Ajax and Silverlight sites share the following features: road view, aerial view, bird unregistered trademark SI view, sharing maps, people location search, building footprints, driving directions, walking directions. Silverlight users exclusively can use map apps, street side view, photo synths, and dynamic labels. Map apps. Access. Bing Map apps are accessed either through the Map Apps button in the Bing Maps Explore bar or through direct permalinks. The Map Apps button is only viewable if the user is in the Bing Maps Silverlight experience or in Windows 8. Bing Map Apps. There are a number of map apps that are developed published by Bing, as indicated by the publisher above the map app unregistered trademark S name in the app gallery. The following are a list of first-party apps. Third-party apps. Bing Map Apps also allows third parties to create and submit map apps. The following are a list of third-party map apps. Map coverage. Global Auto Program. In July 2010, Microsoft and Digital Globe, a leading global content provider of high-resolution Earth imagery solutions, announced the collection of the first imagery from the company's Advanced Auto Aerial program. Through a special agreement with Microsoft, the Advanced Auto Aerial program will provide wall-to-wall 30 cm aerial coverage of the contiguous United States and Western Europe that Digital Globe has the exclusive rights to distribute beyond Bing Maps. The program's first orthophoto mosaics are of Augusta, Georgia, San Diego, California and Tampa, Florida, and can be viewed on Digital Globe's website. Americas. Africa. Europe. Asia/Oceania. Middle East. History. Bing Maps was based on existing Microsoft technologies such as Microsoft Map Point and Terra Server. The original version lacked many of its distinguishing features, including bird's eye view and 3D maps, and the collection's functionality was limited to a single scratchpad of points of interest. Upon its release in December 2005, Windows Live Local became the public face of the Virtual Earth platform. On November 6, 2006, Microsoft added the ability to view the maps in 3D using a .NET Managed Control and Managed Interfaces to Direct 3D. Microsoft subsequently referred to this product officially as Live Search Maps, integrating it as part of its Live Search services. On June 3, 2009, Microsoft officially rebranded Live Search Maps as Bing Maps, and the Virtual Earth platform as Bing Maps for Enterprise. Updates. V1, V2 Bird's Eye Imagery released, V2.5, V3, Real-Time Traffic, Collections, New API, V4, People Search, Drawing on Maps, New Imagery, V5-3D Viewer, Building Models in 15 Cities, Data Update, New 3D Models and High-Resolution Imagery for 6 new areas, Data update, over 100 European cities with bird's eye coverage added. Data update, 3.8 terabytes of bird's eye imagery, orthophotos and 3D models of 5 British cities, v5.5 VE 3D plugin for Firefox, GeoRSS support, area calculations, v6. New data, party maps, traffic-based routing, v6 map control, bird's eye in 3D, etc., v6.1, improved quality of 3D models, improved KML support and new export capabilities, street labels on bird's eye imagery, map cruncher integration, HD filming capabilities, ClearFlow traffic report system, v6.2, multi-point driving directions, landmarks in directions, weather, real stars, new data, data update, 48 terabytes of road network data, v6.2, performance improvements, Bing Maps Silverlight Beta, Silverlight, Twitter, Streetside, Oslo, Silverlight improvements, Boston M4, new map style venue maps. Imagery updates Bing Maps frequently update and expand the geographic areas covered by their imagery, with new updates being released on roughly a monthly basis. Each imagery release typically contains more than 10 terabytes of imagery. However, the necessary time lapse before images are updated means that aerial and bird's eye images for a particular location can sometimes be several years out of date. This is particularly noticeable in locations that have undergone rapid recent development or experienced other dramatic changes since the imagery was taken, such as areas affected by natural disasters. Compatibility: Microsoft states that Bing Maps needs the following environment: Windows XP with SP2 or a later version, Microsoft.NET Framework 2.0, Windows Imaging Component, 250 MB or more of hard disk space, a 1.0 GHz processor, 256 MB of system memory, a 32 MB video card that supports Microsoft DirectX 9, with 3D hardware acceleration enabled, a high-speed or broadband internet connection. Compatible browsers include Windows Internet Explorer 6 or later, Mozilla Firefox 3.0 or later, or Safari 3.1 or later. Opera is stated to be usable with some functionality limitations. Users of browsers that are not considered compatible, as well as users of versions of compatible browsers that are not supported, will be directed away from viewing the map without an error message. The 3D Maps Viewer plugin requires Microsoft Windows XP Service Pack 2, Microsoft Windows Server 2003, Windows Vista, or Windows 7 with Internet Explorer 68 or Firefox 1.53.0. See also, here, Yahoo Maps, MapQuest, Google Maps, Google Earth. References. External links: Bing Maps for different regions, Bing Maps Interactive Source SDK, official Bing Maps team blog, Bing Maps for Enterprise and Government.